Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 49 of Cross Button VR, our journey into the world of PSVR2, a show for those who want to share in our love for the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and I'm here to let you know that we are part of the Cross Players. So, if you like what you hear, check out all the links to all of our stuff in the description for this very episode. And if you are already watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Now, it is an honor to be joined by two of the most evergreen influencers in the metaverse. It's Ben and Alex. How are you, chaps?
Hello.
Evergreen. Like Will Young.
This moment.
Yes, I knew he was going to sing. Come on, keep going.
Last forever. That'll do. You don't want it to last forever.
No, you need more of a lisp as well to get the full. Is it Will Young? It is Will Young, isn't it?
Yes.
That's Will Young. Yeah. But you're a big Will Young fan, Alex?
No.
No.
Think
More
I
of a
better leave
Gareth
right
Gates.
now.
More of a Gareth. You know what? I was in a pub once and some mad woman came up to me and insisted I was Gareth Gates. It's like, oh my God, you're Gareth Gates. I was like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, you shut up, you are. I was like, no, no, I'm not. Seriously. She was like, nah, shut up. I bet you get it all the time, don't you? You just don't want to admit it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Better than when someone thought.
Have you ever seen Gareth Gates? He's got dark hair. That's about the. I was like, how pissed are you, woman? Anyway.
Amazing.
Better than when someone asked me for my autograph because they thought I was Kevin Bridges.
Oh, wow.
Oof. Was this when you were a bit heavier?
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah. Christ.
Ben, have you got a celebrity doppelganger?
Believe it or not, back when I had hair, Prince William, I used to get a lot.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, you win this game. Congratulations.
We bow to you.
Yeah,
As you should.
Better do.
He should shave his hair off, though, as well, shouldn't he? Come on.
He should do, yeah. It looks silly.
Let it go,
Very
man.
silly.
That is in battle.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
It's like, you're going to be king, man. You don't need your hair. Just fine.
Yeah, have some self-respect.
Good. All right. Well, you've had good weeks, so all the same. Alex, you've been down in London town, haven't you?
Yeah, I was in Windsor.
Windsor. Oh,
Yeah.
very one episode. This isn't it? It's all the.
I was down visiting the Royals. Yeah, it was very nice. Nice, busy few days, but a nice wee trip.
Oh, good. Well, glad to see you're home, safe and sound, back in your man cave there, surrounded by Lego and your Xbox controllers. Good. Well, let's get on with the show then. Enough of this tomfoolery. And we've got quite a lot of news this week. There's been lots of different Twitter news drops, which is good. Gives us some stuff to talk about. And first up, we're going to talk about a game that's been revealed called Big Shots. Have you seen this one? Big Shots. This is basically a mechy one. Yeah, it's a mech game roguelike. Of course, it's a roguelike because they're all roguelikes these days. It kind of looks like The Last Worker, and in that you're in kind of a mech sort of thing. It's right at the very start of it as well. You start off in a mech. So maybe they took inspiration from that bit of The Last Worker. It looks like a mech fighting game, shooting game, fighting game. It's a roguelike. That probably tells you everything you need to know about it, really. If you like roguelikes, if you like mechs, you probably like this one.
I wonder if it captures any of the Titanfall feeling. That was always my favourite bit of Titanfall, was when you're actually in the Titan, overpowered, shooting humans, tiny little humans. That would be nice. Yeah,
I'm just trying to think. I only played Titanfall 2. Did you ever do that in just a single player campaign mode of that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you?
Of course.
I don't know. Yeah. It was a long time ago I played
times.
that. Long time ago I played that, but yeah, it was a very good game. Very good game. And with the what's the name? The game that everyone hates, that shooter, that Xbox shooter. We were talking about it last week. What was it called? I can't remember it now. Bulletstorm. Thank you. Thanks for your help there, guys. Bulletstorm. If they can make that into, why don't they make a bloody Titanfall 2 in VR? Yeah, put that in VR. That would be so good.
I think we'll probably get on to why not later on in the show.
Oh, okay then. Well, it's told me. Also, we need a Killzone VR game as well. That would also be good.
Never played Killzone.
Oh man,
Me neither.
Well, I'd say it's good. It was good if you like first-person shooters. It's weird that Sony's just killed that franchise off. I suppose Call of Duty. There's no point trying to compete. Just let Call of Duty sell bajillions of copies and take your cut from that every year. But anyway, big shots. It kind of looks like a kind of Borderlands type kind of graphical thing. It's coming to everything, so it's not just a PlayStation game. But yeah, it looks quite interesting. No date for it though. No date yet, I believe. I'm just scanning on their website now just to see if there is a date on it, but I do not think there is. Just Q1. There you go. Q1 2024. It says on the website. So yeah, not too long to wait. Okay. Dead Hook is next, which was a Doom like kind of another roguelike, obviously. This is coming out. It's got a release date of the 8th of February, which will be. When is this one coming out? I think the week this episode is out. Yeah, a few days after this episode goes out, Dead Hook will be out. And Alex, the embargo.
A few days after the next episode.
Yeah.
What?
About a week and 2 days after this episode.
Oh, yeah, of course, because we're late on. Yeah, of course. And yeah, we have been playing this one, or I have anyway. We can't talk about it yet, though. But it's a very Doom-inspired. If you've seen the trailer for this, it looks just like Doom, basically. The music looks just like Doom. The logo is clearly inspired by Doom. It's very much going for a Doom vibe.
Doom, original Doom or Doom 2016 Doom?
Yeah,
what does it
that
look
one.
like?
Doom 2016.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
I think. Yeah, I mean, it looks modern. I mean, yeah, I mean, the graphics aren't like spectacular, but it looks good. It looks quite nice, clean and sharp, and it looks good at what it does. Yeah, it's a roguelike game. Again, waves of enemies. There's a bit of a story thing going on to it. Yeah, I won't talk about it. We'll talk about it next episode. But it looks promising. It looks promising. If you like, again, your roguelikes, if you like your shooters, if you like Doom, it's very much, it's one of those sort of, it's a shooter, but it's very much where you've got like a hook shot that you can just zoom to enemies and punch them in the face or rip their heads apart in a very kind of Doom-esque finisher move. So you can run around.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, you can. It's room after room in a kind of roguelike fashion, and in each room there's enemies all dotted around, very kind of vertical platforms all around you and stuff, and you can shoot them, weaken them, zip to them, and then when they're weakened, they're in that exactly like Doom 2016, where I think they flash, don't they, when they're ready for a finisher.
Yeah,
and then you can do all sorts to them. You can rip their heads off, you can tear them in half, you can shoot them and they blow up satisfyingly. So you can do all that.
A glory kill, that's what they call it.
Glory kill. Okay, yeah. Well, it's a very much it's a roguelike full of glory kills. So it's if you like that kind of ultra violent, big, heavy metal kind of shotguns blasting.
You did the Mario theme in heavy metal style.
Yeah, okay, the Dead Hook. Either of you interested in this one?
Yeah,
you are now, aren't you? After I've been talking about it.
Yeah, you've done a great job there. Yeah, next week, I think we'll probably all have impressions of that.
Oh yeah, we'll have about that next week. Hold the thought. Next up's also got a release date for I don't know, next week, week after. I don't know what's going on. 6th of February, whenever that is, for Mixture, which is a game that has already been out on other platforms. It's been ported to PSVR 2, and this is, we think, a kind of moss 'em up type thing, right? It's a third person controlling a wee man as he runs around.
Looks that way.
Fighting stuff and platforming over stuff. It's a little knight called Solar. Yeah. So I think you have to control him.
Saw this at the last Upload VR showcase, possibly, and this was one that I pointed out as one to look out for because it looks cool, and I think we need more of that third person action in the Moss style. So promising. Very promising.
Go on.
And I was going to say, because I played another. Just talking about it being another platform. So there was a game that came out in Quest last week. It was
here we go. Here we go.
Demeter. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it was basically the game that is mixed reality platformer, kind of Moss-like again. And but it was really disappointing. Like, I really thought this looked really good, and then when you actually came to the mechanics of it, it felt like you were to get in this whole world of it being mixed reality, but the actual core mechanics of it just didn't feel that good and were quite frustrating. So I hope this one comes along and nails that bit of it, because that's the most important bit. In a game like this, you want the platforming to be good and you want the combat to be good. And if those bits aren't there, then you're not going to stick to it no matter what other bells and whistles that they put onto it. So
that's the key thing for a platformer, right? It's got to feel good. It's got to have the right weight about the jumps and everything. So
I think this one's thing is that you can also zoom in and you can go first person as well. So the little character you're controlling in third person for most of the time. I think there are parts of it where you can jump in and play it in first person as well, which is cool. Because imagine all I can think of is played Moss, so I'm just going to translate it that if you could just jump into play Moss or play as Quill in first person, that would be really, really cool. And just to get a different view on everything and everything looking massive. So that would be, it looks quite cool. It's been well reviewed. It's quite a kind of chunky game as well. I think it's about 8-hour campaign reviews of it. I've read say, so it looks like it's quite a decent length game, and well liked, well regarded. So
cool.
Keep an eye on this one. Definitely seems like an Alex game. I'm putting this one down as.
And Ben, I would say.
Yeah, but mainly Alex. Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Wow. No.
Next up, I'm sure we'll have thoughts. One of you guys will play that anyway next week, and we'll talk about that when we can. Next up is a game that was revealed. This was on the PlayStation's Twitter feeds as well, so it's got quite their backing behind it. It's a game called Stilt. Have you seen this one? This is a game, kind of a platforming game where you don't jump, you have your hands are springs and you flick them and it makes you bounce around in a crazy like fashion, really. It's coming spring, so not too long for that. It's a Q1, presumably.
Spring.
Yep, spring. That's what they even made that joke on their tweet.
Sorry.
But no, it's a good joke. Ben's like, well, is it? But yeah, it kind of looks like it kind of looks like a Mario game played in first person with springs for hands. So there you go. That doesn't say on it. Nothing will, except for a review and trailers and stuff.
It didn't sell me on it. It looks. I don't know. It kind of reminds me stylistically of that Toss that came out a few months ago.
I thought that show as well. I saw it.
Definitely got that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
but the levels look
big
more
Toss vibes.
Yeah, well, the Toss is just floating platforms in kind of clouds, isn't it? It's very kind of abstract, just things. Whereas this looks like proper kind of levels that you're jumping around and exploring.
Yeah, because it feels like more like.
This doesn't look abstract.
It feels like a longer Toss.
It's photorealistic. A longer Toss, is that what you like?
Yeah.
A longer Toss. God.
Okay, now you've got my interest.
Wow. Yes. Well, you can give us your full thoughts on that one. It's a Ben game, apparently. This one is going to be a Ben game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ben games, Ultra Wings 2. Which
Absolute
not only
Ben
we
game.
were waiting, we knew this one was coming. We didn't not sure when it was. Not only did we didn't even get a announced date, a release date announced, an announced date released. They just boom, it was just out, it was just done, it was just there. It was
not even intentionally.
I saw the developers tweeting like, we're not sure how that's happened. I think we pressed the button somewhere, and the game's out now, so please buy it.
Oh, that's so reassuring, isn't it?
Well, they had
things like that can happen.
They had a day 1 patch prepared for it to come out on day 1, but like there's now going to be a day 5 patch because it's a little bit early.
That is brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I love that stuff like that can happen. You kind of assume that the whole kind of process is very, very slick and very, I don't know, professional. But I just love that the devs, they didn't try and just be like, surprise, we thought we released it today. They were just like, oh shit, okay, it's out now apparently. So.
Have we clocked much reception?
It seems to be getting fairly good reception because the kind of key thing is it is a PC VR port to PSVR2 rather than Quest port.
Oh, right.
So they have taken the proper PC version and ported it. It's 90 frames per second, no reprojection. Seems to be running pretty well, playing pretty well. It's compatible with like the flight controllers and stuff, so you can properly like sim this to an extent. But it feels like. Whereas some of the other kind of flying games I've seen have been a little bit of VR here, this seems like a proper, like you've got licenses to do, you've got tasks to do, I think you've got stunts to do.
It looks very Pilot Wings, right? It's called Ultra Wings. Is that it's Pilot Wings, right? It's very much Pilot Wings, but with some shooting and fighting bits as well, but also lots of sort of stunts and challenges and flying through targets and stuff.
But initial reception seems to be good. We will have some thoughts on it next week. I've not had a chance to play it yet, but we'll play it before we record for next week's episode.
It does look really nice. The graphics on it looks like a really pretty game. It's not photorealistic. It kind of looks like, it reminds me of the Pilot Wings game that was out on was it the 3DS? Obviously, it looks better graphics than that, but it's that kind of same style of not going. It's a bit kind of cartoony, a bit realistic. I don't know. It's that kind of a match between them. But yeah, it's the PC VR port, not a Quest port, and I think they've spent some time putting some haptics and stuff in it as well. So I mean, it's a well liked game anyway. So hopefully they've done a good job on the PSVR 2 port, and obviously given the surprise release date, no one's had a chance to review it properly. So I'm sure people will get to grips with it over the coming week, and there'll be some more impressions and thought out things that people will give in the coming days. It'll be interesting to see if Ben can play this one without being sick straight away.
My guess would be no. But promising anyway. More promising news. It's good.
Yeah. Plenty. It's a busy start to the month for sure. Another game that's been announced with a port announced is Survivorman VR. It's called, which looks basically like a Bear Grylls up. Bear Grylls, have you guys Bear Grylls fans?
No, I've seen some of his work.
I know who he is.
No views on Bear Grylls. It's quite a big deal. My son's quite into Bear Grylls. He's got some like good like kids books and stuff he does. He's got a good Netflix show as well for kids as well. One of those Netflix choose your own adventure stuff where he's in the jungle and there's like this rope bridge that looks like it's about to collapse or some dodgy river rapids, and he's like, right, you choose which way should I go, and select the way.
I've watched one of them with my son before. It's quite good fun.
Well, no, this game isn't
a bit where he's got no drink, so he extracts the moisture from cow shit. Drinks that.
Oh god, that's even worse
straightens
than
the moisture out of that.
A Better Call
for a
Saul
pair of
kind
tights.
of moment.
It is based on like another actual person. No,
this game isn't Bear Grylls. No, it's someone else that has done survival stuff. I think some American guy. But the trailer looked good because it's going to be a mix of live action and VR. It looks quite clever because it's like you're in the trailer. It shows you're kind of in a plane crash, and then there's someone who's kind of narrating or instructing you what to do, how to survive, kind of thing. So you're in the situation. It's like, right, I think you should go and get the compass from the cockpit of the airplane, and you can rip that out. And it's like, right now you can use this to navigate and find your way. So it's like you have to go into the cockpit and think. You have to look around and think, well, what would help me here? What things do I need? And then it kind of probably gives you some clues and hints and stuff, and then you have to work out. So it's kind of a bit of maybe like a puzzle survival game, but with an emphasis on being quite realistic and stuff. So it's like, well, this could be like a training game for when you eventually land in a crash land somewhere.
Because I did read it was some sort of groundbreaking technology in terms of how they're getting like characters in the game and how they're like presenting and like designing the character models and stuff. So to get that realism in there, so they have some sort of specific technique that's used across like movies and everything as well. For this company. Seems quite interesting.
Interesting. What was it called again?
Survivorman VR.
That reminds me of that. What was that game you played, Alex? Was it Suicide
Guy? Yeah.
That name reminds me of that.
It's a wee bit better.
And that put me off instantly. It's like, oh, is this the follow-up to that?
No.
It's a
fortunately not.
Name. Good.
That's coming on February the 15th. That game is out. It's already out on Meta, on Quest. It's coming out to Steam and PSVR 2 on February the 15th.
And there's specific updates as well coming to the Quest on the 15th as well, because they're making it's like a new version of the game essentially. I think it's coming to.
Apparently it's
mixed reality survival. You just go out into the woods and then just see a bear just jump out at you.
It's
cool.
Yeah, I'm just reading. Is a legendary solo survivalist and star of the iconic Survivorman TV series, which must be an American thing. This guy's name is Les Stroud, or maybe he's French and he's Les Stroud. we'll never know. He's
the cousin of Les Mills.
No, it's Les Stroud. Comment ça va? Yeah, no, it's Les Jude, I believe. It's kind of like Bear Grylls basically for Americans. Yeah, he looks pretty serious though. The guy Les Lay. So yeah, Survivor Man. That's coming out in a few weeks' time. Next up, oh god, I'm still going. There's Sea Smash has got himself a big old update. Good work, Jorg and Ryan. They've added global leaderboards to everything.
Yes,
which is what you've been waiting for, Alex, I believe. Yeah. And they've also added lots of.
Ben clearly thought just saying Alex.
Yeah, fucking hell! What have I done wrong? Jesus.
Yeah, I just know Alex likes a leaderboard. Yeah, they've added lots of.
Thanks for listening to the answers in my birthday quiz.
What? I can't remember that one. That was a few weeks ago. No. Accessibility features. Stop interrupting me. They've added new accessibility features, Ben. Which I saw your.
Oh, I care about accessibility.
Come on, you love accessibility features. No, but what was interesting is that you were saying like when you saw people, it's the feedback from like the show floor at EGX. You were saying there's people saying to him, "I wish I could do it like this," or I think you didn't say he had someone come along with his arm in a sling. So they couldn't play it two-handed. Yeah. And he was launching for them. And that made him think, well, how can I make this? So, I love that. He's gone away and they've, he's obviously fed back to the team. Right, we've got, there's no reason why this shouldn't be just play with one hand. So let's help people out and stuff. So that's really nice. But the global leaderboards thing is good. And that's, it's a shame it wasn't there at the start because that sort of thing really, really benefits from it. It surely can't be too long now. That's still Sea Smash. That's going to be popping up on Quest at some point, right? There's no need. It needs to be exclusive for. I don't know why Sony would feel like they need to build by kind of exclusivity for this game. I assumed. What gone?
It definitely feels like it because I think some of the things it said, even like when we spoke to him and some of the other things in interviews, it definitely feels like there's an undertone of it has come to Quest. They just can't announce it or won't announce it yet. But I don't think it'll be far. I definitely don't think it'll be long. It'll do very, very well on Quest.
I think so. Very well on Quest. And I feel like I hope it does, and I hope it does really well. And that's what the PSVR 2 and all VR needs really. Fair enough. You're going to have these exclusives. It's a bit like Assassin's Creed Nexus. Like have it if you must have it exclusive, but eventually it needs to come everywhere so that the developers can get the money from it. And I feel like they must have got some money from Sony for keeping it exclusive for a period, whether that's 9 months, probably going to end up being a year soon. And then it can come everywhere. And when that does, there'll be so many players on Quest that will jump into it. And this will probably run so well on Quest because it's, graphically, it's not that intense. And Quest 3, the head tracking is excellent, right? It can do everything the same. So,
I think if the untethered nature of it as well would be very
that was, for sure. That would be really good. And you don't have to worry about, tripping over the thing. And, and you could just be easier to take it to an open space. Like you could just put it on,
play in the garden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, that sounds so good. So I hope just for Jorg and the team and Ryan, and just it deserves a huge audience. This game, it deserves a platform, and it feels like the game that could be like the VR kind of esport thing that people should get really, really good at. And it's just the audience is at Quest. So games, if they're going to be really big games like a kind of Beat Saber type style breakout hit, it needs to be on Quest, frankly. So I hope it does, and it's good that everything now is in place, ready for it when it does launch it on Quest. It will all be there, including the leaderboards, which is such a compelling thing for getting people to play it. I just hope they have crossplay. I'm sure they will, but
they definitely will.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of updates to games that we like, Synth Riders is getting a new swing update and another bunch of 3 tracks. So there's four 3 tracks that are coming out for that, and then 5 paid for DLC tracks. That's a total of 9 tracks, Ben. Yeah, 4 plus 1.
Thanks, Laurie.
Yep.
Good.
9 new tracks that you can play.
Poor Ben.
But yeah, you like your swing, don't you, Ben?
I like swinging of sorts, yeah. What sort of swing? Is it swing as in like, like old-timey music, or is it swing as in like 90s R&B?
It's electro-y swing. It's a little old-timey, but...
Old-timey, but done new.
Like
there's already some swing tracks in there already.
Yeah, so this is Electro Swing Pack 2. So there is already one like this.
So for some New Jack Swing, that would have been good. Oh, what a shame.
No, you don't get that.
Oh well.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't worry. Reese will know. Reese is cool. He knows. Reese knows what's up.
You've just made his day.
He
Happy
likes.
Tuesday, Reese. Ben thinks you're cool.
There you go. I mean, that is only in comparison to you two, Bellends.
Oh, man.
Why me?
Someone's tired. Someone's tired.
Move on.
Grouchy, isn't he? Grouchy tonight. We need to switch back to recording on Fridays. This is don't like Sunday, Ben. It's too grouchy. But yeah, it's in Fridays anyway. Play that game. It's really good. Right, there you go.
Yes.
Lots of new games, lots of updates for existing games. What's that? Big Shots, Dead Hook, Mixture, Stilt, Ultra Wings 2, Survivor Man. Loads to play. Stop complaining.
It'll be a
Right,
busy
talking
February.
of things we have been playing. Ben, have you been playing anything?
I have actually been playing something, but
Oh.
I can't talk about it yet.
Oh, look at you, you embargoes.
So, yeah. More on that in the weeks to come.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So there we go. That's easy.
Is
I have to
okay.
say that every week. Brilliant.
And Alex, you've been away, so I don't think you've been playing anything.
Not very much, no.
Apart from Demeter on Quest.
Yeah, well, I played a little bit. So speaking of Ryan and Wolfen Wood, I played a little bit of Hotel R&R. So they released the PSVR2 version of that just before Christmas. Was it just before Christmas? I think it was.
This is the Rockstar kind of sim where you have to go and smash up a hotel room.
Yeah, basically. So the whole premise of the game is you have specific tasks in these different hotels across the world, and you need to cause as much damage in the hotel room as you can without getting caught by like one of the hotel staff or by the police or something. So you need to, it's like you do as much damage as you can, and then you can choose to escape before someone catches you. But if like the little maid or something comes, you can just open the door and punch her and then shut the door and like keep going and smashing and stuff. But you're basically doing this on behalf of the devil. So you have been like, you've sold your soul to the devil, and you're doing the devil's work essentially. It's mad. It's funny. They've done a really good job of the port. I think it runs really, really nice. Looks really good, runs really well, but it's got a really good British sense of humour, I would say. And like some of the upgrades you can buy in the shop, like how you do it all, like this is very good. I think you haven't played this. It's a free upgrade for anyone that did have it in PSVR 1. So if you do revisit it, play it again, you'll enjoy it. And if you haven't played it, I think it's only about £16-17. It's well worth it. Really good fun.
I hope it
and it's
didn't.
got leaderboards, Ben.
Nice.
I remember you like leaderboards from your quiz.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Good.
Is this why you had to leave Windsor early, Alex? You've been playing too much of this game and your hotel. Do you punch a maid in the face down in Windsor?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't afford to repair that hotel. But yeah.
All that maid.
All that maid. No.
No, that's all right. I'm sure your employer will settle the claim. Okay. Anything else you want to?
A little bit of... So there's another game coming out in February, which you can talk about because there's no embargo on it. So I've been playing a little bit of Operation Serpents. So this is like a classic arcade... It's basically a homage to those light gun shooters of the past, and it's very well done. So there's all these little kind of cartoon stories, and you've got all these characters you need to take out in the kind of mission mode, and it maybe only takes 2 or 3 hours. It's not the longest game, but you're basically standing, all these enemies appear, and you need to take them out. And that's kind of it, but that's what it delivers to do, and it does it well. Runs well, looks nice. It knows what it wants its art style to be, and it delivers it. So that's like the main story. I'll play more of this and give a bit more details like nearer when it comes out. And then I played a little bit of the multiplayer mode with Reese, that cool guy that Ben was talking about. Yeah. And that was quite fun. So it's basically you're in this shopping mall, and it's like a horde mode. So you're just taking out all these, but as each level comes up, like another shop opens, so there's more places for them to come at you, and then it just kind of keeps going and going and going. That's what it says in the tin, as they say, and does it well.
It looks very like arcade from maybe sort of, I don't know when, but 10, 20 years ago, maybe arcade style sort of enemies popping up to be shot at.
Yeah, and that's what it wants to be. I mean, it's not. That's what it's set out to achieve, and it's done it. And it's funny. It's another one that like it's got quite good humour and stuff in it. It's well written.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it quite a kind of silly storyline?
Yeah, very daft.
Yeah, looks it. I think anything that scratches that sort of Virtua Cop itch is good in my book. And that's what this looks like.
And it's one of those that'd be very good. Like, see, if you just had 10, 15 minutes and you wanted to just jump into something stupid, it really is good for that. I think that's really been it. Other than quite a lot of Forever Cornhole and the Quest, which I'll not talk about the Quest again, but that I hope that comes to PSVR 2 because people will love that.
People love cornholes.
They do.
It's a good game.
More baggers.
Yeah.
Well, just waiting for Ben to say something there. To get out of his system.
Nothing.
Well, I have been playing and tweeting heavily about Horizon Call of the Mountain, which after Ben was going on about how glad he was to finally get around to playing it properly, I thought, go on then, let's jump into it now. It's time. And what it was actually was playing Resident Evil 4 demo, which I played a bit of, and then obviously I've stopped playing because Ben, you offered to send me your copy. So I was like, okay, I'll wait till that turns up and I'll play that. But it made me realize, like, oh god, this game just looks so good, and it made me want to play something else that was that level of fidelity. So I went back to play it, and obviously I played it when the thing first arrived on the day one. Played it probably in the initial week or two, but only for like an hour or so. Didn't get very far in it at all, and that was very early on in the system, and there's still loads of stuff we were trying out and playing things and stuff. So it kind of got lost in the whole launch window, and then never really got a chance to go back to because there's been so many other stuff to play this year. So I started playing it again, and going back into that world again and playing it properly, it's just like, my god, this game looks so much better than anything else that has come out on the system this year since. It's ridiculous how good this game looks and how polished it is. There is no, it's a bit like when you play Horizon Forbidden West, and you just look around and there's just like stuff floating about everywhere. There's like fireflies or just embers or just stuff in the atmosphere, leaves, everything. It just and all the trees are blowing and look realistic. And that's kind of when you play this game. There is just stuff going on everywhere. Like the trees and the foliage and the jungles look so realistic, and it's the way it sort of blows in the wind, and it's just all just like sparks flying off of things or whatever it is. It's just so much going on in it, and it all looks so polished. It's such an impressive looking thing. And coming back to it now, I was like, I'm kind of glad almost that I didn't play. Or when I did play it before, I think we all said the same thing. It's just like, yeah, it didn't really grab me or hook me. And I think the mechanics of it, which just at the time, I remember there were bits of it that I didn't really like the whole when you have to do like a running long jump thing, or the whole wiggling your arms around to make yourself move in the first tool. And just having now got sort of best part of a year of VR under my belt, and it got used to things, because you go straight into the settings and be like, nope, turn that off, vignettes, no, we don't want those anymore. Yep, smooth turning, just stick movement, all this kind of stuff, set it up how I want it. It's just so much more enjoyable to play now than it was before. There's no friction. I don't know whether that's, well, it's just because I'm just that much more acclimatized to playing VR stuff, and just I know what I like doing in VR and what I don't like doing in VR and what works for me and stuff. So it's just there's no friction playing it. It's just so nice just to look around, and just because I'm a huge Horizon fan, so to really just to enjoy being in that world and to look around and to just get that sense of the scale and the size of everything is just so impressive. Yeah, and even that kind of, I just wasn't really sure what was going on before, but this time around, because I'm not trying to think, okay, how do I move? What am I doing here? I was actually listening to what the characters were saying and taking in the story. And it's like, okay, now I get what I'm doing here. And yeah, I'm so glad that I waited almost to get the hang of VR first before playing this, and can now really appreciate how good the game this is and how it is such a kind of me game. And I kind of feel a little bit stupid that I've left it this long, and that it's not on my top 10. I hadn't been on my top list of PSVR 2 games, because it definitely would be now, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point about that leaving that distance of time, because I think we probably took it for granted how good it looks to start with, and now we've played a lot of stuff that doesn't look anywhere near this good. Like to go back to it and be in that kind of hyper realistic, kind of oversaturated, bright Horizon world, and it's amazing. And I do think again it didn't grab us initially because I think it does what it does the opposite of what we've complained about with other games, where it doles out upgrades and things gradually, so it doesn't throw everything at you at once. So, 4 or 5 hours in, you're still getting new stuff that you can experiment with, and it changed your whole play style. So, yeah, I feel like we've probably judged it too harshly, or not played it enough to judge it fairly in the past, at least. So it's good. It's good that you're going back to it. Alex, are you thinking of doing the same?
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause just on that topic, I do wonder how much of, at the time, because we were all brand new to VR, and how much of the other games appealed to us more because they were just simple. And it was like, just do this, do that. Kind of much easier for us to actually find our feet in VR. And I do wonder now, if you go back and revisit some of the games, if I would feel differently about them. Because the other one, I think, is, well, is budget cuts. Because Laurie, me and you completely wrote that game off because we're just like, no, don't like this, don't like that. But I don't know if it came too early for us to appreciate what VR, or what a lot of VR was, because that probably does things now. We'd be like, oh, that's actually quite clever. Whereas at the time, we're like, oh no, I don't like that, and things like that. And it probably says as much about how we've developed as kind of VR players, that we can now appreciate these things, rather than it's not giving it the time and attention. It was more, we probably weren't ready to.
Yeah, I think it was it's a sensory overload to it, in that there is so much going on visually. There is so much going, and exactly what you say, Ben, about some of the games, these more simpler ones where it's a bit more straightforward. Even if you look at kind of like Red Matter set, where it's still a very, very good looking game, very immersive looking game, but you're not being thrown like in this game. Too, it's probably a disservice almost. It looks amazing, it sounds amazing. People are talking at you, explaining things to you. You're trying to learn how to do these mechanics. It is overwhelming in its how kind of good. I don't say it's overwhelming how good it is, but just how much stuff there is going on. And for me, I just wanted to look at kind of how you stick your hand in the water and stuff, and people are explaining the story in that initial boat ride, and I'm just there like dicking them up with my hand in the water, going ooh, ooh, and like missing all this stuff going on. So all this kind of context is important. And yeah, the combat before, that was the bit I really didn't. I was like, oh god, that is I think what I bounced off it before. Is when you go on those kind of one-on-one combat arena things, just any combat in the game, and I was like, oh god, how do I? And I kept dying because I was like, how do I dodge? How do I move? And just the whole everything was just that whole lifting, getting the arrow, pulling it, turning it back, whilst also dodging, but moving left and right, and then quick dodging and stuff. And but playing it this time round, I was just like, they explained what to do. I was like, okay, I've got it, and it just instantly clicked and did the first enemy. I forget what they're called. The raptor thing.
Scrappers?
Maybe.
Scrappers? Yeah.
What? No, watch
it.
it.
The combat is excellent, isn't it?
Yeah, and
really good.
And I think I got as far, and I also appreciate they've got branching levels. Like this, they're one of the levels you can choose which way you want to go. The footsteps go both ways, and I think the first time I played it, I went up over the sort of the cliff tops and stuff. Whereas this time round, I didn't really. I just choose something on a whim, and it ended up taking me a completely different way through some mines, which was a much more interesting way to go. It was much more, it was like more sort of stealth aspects to it. But when I went the other way before, that was when there was some bird flying enemy type things that I just could not
Glint hawks.
Glint hawk. Yeah, look at you. I think you know it all, don't you? Know all the names. Yeah, that's where I think I died a few times. I was just like, I'm not even getting close to killing these things. I think the damage was doing like nothing, and just that was just it. The coordination needed to get an arrow, fire it at the right spot on the Glinthawk, whilst dodging it and stuff, and then picking up the different types of arrows, and then the flicking your wrist over to change the type of arrow and craft new. It was just yeah, I couldn't get my head around it before. And whereas now not getting into that. So I wonder how many other people who jumped into PSVR2 and this was their first game they played and had that similar sort of experience, and just like, ugh, I don't. This is not great.
Wouldn't it be funny if we do our like revised top 10 this year and suddenly that game's in there? Like
Oh,
a year
yeah, well,
after
it
it's come
certainly
out.
will be for mine. And yeah, people, our audience will be like, this freaking idiots don't know what they're talking about. This game's far better
Well,
than
hello.
this. Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, to be fair, they should have said something, shouldn't they? Should have piped up. Reese. But yeah, I'm so impressed with it. And it's just so nice to play. This is kind of a AAA VR game, right? This is as AAA as you're going to get in VR. You're not going to get more resources, and it's just nice to see, because for all the games that we play, made by small teams, amazing work that they do. But if you got like Sony money that you can throw at projects, and you can put, I think Firespray I think that's one of their biggest developers now. You can just have a team of people who just the amount of people they must have had working on this game, just doing all these little small details and things, and just really, really getting it. Like with your rock climbing, and there's the little moss on the actual moss, not the game. And there's all over the rocks, and you can just run your fingers through it, and you can feel it, the haptic. It's just like, it's just so good. And then I think I'm going quite slow in it because I'm just always looking around. I keep taking pictures, and all the views of like all the waterfalls and stuff is just constantly kind of spectacular to look at. So yeah, cool. It's very cool. I'm definitely be playing this now till completion. I'm not going to let anything else distract me, and I'll give my full thoughts on it again when I finish it, I suppose.
High up my list to go back to.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
But yeah, for anyone listening that likes our current we're really on the cutting edge of PSVR 2 games. We are now, all of us, finally getting the hang of playing the launch game. But there you go. What can I say? We are but human. Cool. Well, let's move on. Before we do, though, if you would like to support us, you can please give this podcast a sub on the service you're using. And why not leave us a review too? That would be nice. You can also follow us on Twitter at CrossButtonVR and at The Crossplayers. And if you really would like to show the love, you can do so by patreon.com/The Crossplayers and subscribe for £2 a month. Join our little gang and help us produce the show, and join our little WhatsApp group. Also, for anyone out there that doesn't have perfect eyesight, you can check out VR Rock at vr-rock.com to buy prescription lenses for any of your PSVR, any of your VR headsets. Almost got it right, Ben, almost. They also sell non-prescription lenses as well, which occurred to me is a great way to keep your headsets lenses from getting scratched, because they're obviously easy to replace if they did happen to them. And most importantly, if you wanted to get a pair of these, you can use the code CBVR to get 10% off and also free worldwide shipping. So that's VR Rock at vr-rock.com for upgrading your lenses. And you guys have both got these. You both got these now, and you're both big fans.
We both got lenses. I don't have VR Rock ones.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I've got VR Rock, and they are the best in the business.
They rock.
I can't confirm that. I haven't tried any others. They're very good though. For me.
Yeah. Good. Okay, I told you, Ben, I'd have that bit down. And almost had it perfect, but next week.
Slick.
Next week.
Hard to believe you were reading that compared to me freestyling it last week and not making any mistakes at all. So,
yeah, it's been a long weekend. Right, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, just to we'll close out the show, is Sony revealed what the 2023's best-selling PSVR 2 games are. I think these are the most downloaded, but I think the physical market is going to be a tiny proportion, so I think we can assume this is as close as we're going to get to the best-selling games. And the one thing I must caveat it, I must caveat it, is that it doesn't include Call of the Mountain. That was copies that were sold with the headset. So my copy, for instance, doesn't count towards this. So I suspect that should be higher on this list than it should do. And also, importantly, doesn't include games that are hybrid games. So Resident Evil 4, GT7, Resident Evil Village, they're not included because they don't know if people are buying it for the VR version or non-version. So they're just not in this list. So these are just VR games. So that's pinch of salt there. There are some big games there that should feature in this list somewhere. And we will never know where they would do. Now I could play a game and say which game do you two think was top of the list, but you've already seen this list. So would you like to tell our audience, Ben, what it was?
Yes, top of North America and Europe.
Yep,
both territories. Pavlov, a game none of us have played.
Once again, we're just getting around to calling it. A year's time we might start playing Pavlov.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is good, this game, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why people listen to the show.
That surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously these multiplayer shooters have communities, and they need their communities. And obviously, the one Firewall didn't get one, and ended up with the devs shutting themselves down. But obviously, Pavlov seems to have the community, right? It's the Fortnite of the online VR shooters. Is that fair to say?
Apparently so.
Yeah. And people who played. I think this was early on. This just came out quite early on, didn't it? And it had the.
Yeah.
I think it must have had the chance to get like the first big community of people playing this one. And none of us have played this one. None of us played this one.
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, can't say much about this one.
The whole list is really a bunch of games.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
couple,
a funny
and not really
list.
our games at all.
No. Well, I'll run through the list, and I'll do the I'll do the EU one just because I presume that includes the UK. Who knows? Shouldn't do.
Who knows?
But it's Pavlov, number 1. Kayak VR Mirage, great game. Number 2. But, well, not great game. Great experience. Bizarre that is so high. The Beat Saber, number 3, which is that is the least one you'd expect. The Dark Pictures, Switchback VR, number 4. Followed by The Walking Dead, Sinners and Saints, Chapter 2, Retribution. Crazy name for a game. Followed by Star Wars, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, Job Simulator, Call of the Mountain, Moss Book 2, and then Swordsman VR. Yeah, Swordsman VR.
Quite surprised at that one.
Yeah, really surprised. I mean, at least all the rest of them are quite well-known games, but Swordsman VR is not even... How's that on everyone's radar? US list, very similar. Pavlov, Beat Saber, Kayak, Star Wars, Call of the Mountain, Job Simulator, Walking Dead, Switchback, Swordsman VR, and Pistol Whip, just about squeezing in there in the US, number 10. I just can't get over the Job Simulator as well. Like, people still just get a brand new headset. So I'm going to go out and download Job Simulator, which, I mean, that just must be the if you get the game to learn how to play VR in. Maybe that's the one.
I think my biggest takeaway from it, though, is where Synapse.
Yeah, even with all their push that they had, people just aren't...
That baffles me that Synapse isn't there. Like, it really baffles me.
And...
Well, when did Synapse come out? Was that in the summer?
Yeah, it was June.
Yeah, but...
Right.
I mean,
most of these came out before that. Most of these are launch.
I don't think it was far. I don't think it was far after. Could switch back. It was about roughly.
Yeah, I mean, Ben raises the point. There could be a lot of people that went out and bought the PSVR2 at launch, and then just done nothing since because it's just sat there like Ryan McCaffrey is gathering dust on the shelf. So, Swordsman VR. I couldn't even tell you what that game. Apologies, Swordsman VR. I'm sure it's a great game, but it's not one that it's on my radar at all. I don't really know what it looks like. But yeah, there's games like Synapse there. I mean, Red Matter, Walkabout, Mini Golf. Go well, Walkabout, not on the list. And you can assume GT7 that would be in the top 10 if in terms of they must track the hours played in each game in VR. So they must know. And I'm sure that GT7 would be very high on there.
But this to me, and sorry to be negative, but this has the look of a stagnant platform because there's nothing really new there. Yeah, like you say, where's Synapse? Beat Saber didn't come out straight away, did it? But that's obviously a huge game, so you'd expect that to go up on the list quite quickly. But just like this, coupled with the sales figures, obviously we knew Quest 2 and Quest 3 would massively outsell PSVR 2 over the holiday season. But have you seen the pie chart of that?
It's like 95%, isn't it?
Slither, yeah.
And that's sales from Amazon. I don't know how many people are. Yeah,
I mean, it's indicative, I think, and this list is the same. It's like we need that injection, we need that Call of the Mountain. Right, what have Firesprite been cooking up, over the last year or two that can give that little injection? Because this is just like, come on, this is all Astrobot. We need a rescue mission right now.
Yeah, rescue me. I've seen there was the list for Japan as well. I don't have the whole list, but the Kayak VR devs tweeted it out with Japan on the column as well. Because actually, number 1 in Japan, Kayak VR is the most downloaded. software.
Hilarious.
In Japan, it's Kayak VR, Beat Saber, Cooler Mountain, Switchback, Discronia, Chronos, Alternate, and then The Tale of Onagura. So yeah, Kayak VR. It's just like, I mean, Kayak VR, really fun, but it's not. It's a tech demo, right, guys? Come on, like that is crazy. That is the most downloaded thing that
it is crazy. But doesn't that show that's people want that sort of stuff in VR? They don't just want games; they want experiences. But then you see like Rec Room, the social platform that's basically on every other VR platform. They came out and said this was just reading this off Road to VR. So someone from the Rec Room team, what's the guy's name? Cameron Brown, who's the co-founder of Rec Room, said no current plans to bring Rec Room to PSVR 2. We've looked into it. It's a non-trivial port, and we haven't found a way to make economic sense. In an ideal world, we would love to bring Rec Room to PSVR 2, but we just can't justify the cost based on the numbers. Sucks, I know, but that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And they've already announced that it's coming to Apple Vision Pro, which hasn't even launched yet, and they just obviously know that will have an audience. It's just like, I don't know, there's something not right. Not right.
It's a very, to me, I mean, as a proud Vita owner, it's a very Vita-ish type situation where bought the Vita, great hardware, but they just like put out some games that they felt like they had to, and then they're like, yeah, we don't really want to spend any resources on this. And it's like, people that have a Vita love it, and I think people that have the PSVR 2 like love this headset, and it's like it's a bit like, you know, it's an indie darling. You know, like if you bought the Vita, there was so many games that were just every indie game in the world came to it, and it's a bit like this as well. Like there are a few kind of big budget AAA games, and they're great in the same way that there was stuff like Uncharted, Golden Abyss on the Vita. But actually, what really makes the ecosystem is all these indie games, your Hotline Miami's and stuff that was on the Vita. There was so much stuff there, and that's like on the headset. So it just feels like Sony just like, well, it's there. If you like those sorts of things that people are putting on it, get it. If you don't get it, well, we don't care. It's like, just as long as you buy a PS5 and subscribe to PS Plus, that's all we care about. So, but yeah, you're right. The list of games that hadn't occurred to me before, it's just all very going to launch games. There's probably a big load of people that bought it at launch, probably bought half a dozen games, and then just not a lot's been happening with it since. But yeah, for Synapse to not even to make the list, with given how much, that should be, that is not a AAA, but you know, it's a very, very polished, high profile exclusive that people who own the platform should be playing. You know, if you have this, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't played Synapse, you owe it to yourself to check it out. It is better than most of the games on that list, I would suggest. Also, shout out Switchback, you little dark horse there. People love that IP, that stuff, even with the dodgy reviews. And I think there's probably a lot of people that just do not care about the reviews. They just know that they like the Dark Pictures stuff. They like there's enough. What's that game they're remaking now? What was the original one?
Until Dawn.
Yeah. God, that game did a lot of heavy lifting. They've been dining off that game.
Hey, we said we wouldn't mention that again, Alex.
But yeah,
that squirrel was looking at me funny. Yeah,
but you wouldn't kill the girl. She was looking at us all funny.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of some positive spin to put on this.
The 2024 will have a much better list.
Yeah, well, you know,
Play's coming. It's coming. It's going to be some VR.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like lots of people did play Synapse. It's just these games are the ones that lots of more people are playing. You know, maybe Job Simulator there. That's the game that people think it's a really good kind of entry level, entry to VR.
But it's even to that point. See, if you look at the I'm not to bring Quest up again, but if you look at the Quest store, Job Simulator's right up there in terms of top sold as well. Like,
it is a huge,
across all
it's a huge evergreen. Yeah, like you guys, evergreen. And Beat Saber, everyone loves. Everyone, I feel I should have that. I should be playing that. That is a phenomenon. So Pavlov apparently, and Kayak, like you say, that's probably one of the few kind of more gentle experience type things. I think a lot of people buy Kayak just to show their friends when they come around and be like, here you go, you'll never go on this, because it's very non-threatening. You can just sit there and take as long as you need to work out what the hell's going on. Star Wars and Walking Dead, they're huge IP that people like. Switchback, like we say, people love that Until Dawn world. And that's the best part of your list, really. So maybe just it's not that doom and gloom. It's just these are just surprisingly enduring, popular names, and they've all got a role that means that people want to pick them up. They all form. They've all got a reason to be part of your library.
Because I think, particularly
But
when
no
you look at the
walkabout mini golf is disgusting.
Come on, people,
that's
get walkabout mini
Criminal.
golf. This criminal. Walkabout mini golf. That needs to be there.
Every PSVR2 owner should own Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yes, that should be your pack-in.
Yeah, Sea Smash as well. I'm surprised that was not on the list at all. Which, given again how kind of tied it is to the brand and how much of a push Sony gave that.
Potentially hurt Sea Smash was having the demo available earlier than for quite a wee while earlier than the game coming out.
Yeah,
and I don't think the demo necessarily converted. I think the demo probably gave people enough to not want to convert full game.
Sony should put Sea Smash on PS Plus.
Yeah,
that would be good. Because now everyone, I'll jump into it now. Now it's ready. I might as well download it just because, it's worth taking another look at. But Well, there you go. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see because they do these month by month, so it'll be interesting to see how these change as well. Because they always do a blog post with these each month, and then each year they do obviously end of the year summary. So it'll be interesting to see if this changes. And if it's the same list of names next year, then that would be sad.
That really is. Yeah, fingers crossed. That this rumored state of play does happen ASAP, and we get something. Give us something.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got quite a decent start on PS5 to the year. There's nothing obviously big coming PSVR2, but there's nothing. Although they've got quite a few exclusives, none of them are PlayStation Studio exclusives. So, yeah, there's lots of rumours and murmurings going now that they're going to talk about it. You think if there is a state of play, I would expect there to be at least one kind of VR game.
You've got
or a hybrid would be fine.
Yeah,
take a hybrid.
Yeah, some hybrid games. I think Astrobot, the next Astrobot game, will be hybrid. I'd like to think, or at least have modes that are kind of VR only, and the bulk of the game. I don't know. There'll be something, but I don't know. But
let's just keep everything crossed to see it soon.
Yeah, I don't know. February. The people like doing big shows in February, don't they?
I think it's either going to be the 1st of February or the 8th of February.
Oh, well, there you go. 1st of February. Not long to wait. Was that 4 days from now?
Lock it in.
Cool. Right. Okay. Well, let's leave it there. Thank you again, everyone, for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could please tell your family and your friends all about us. And if you'd like to get more involved with the rest of our bunch of idiots, please do not hesitate to drop into our Discord and say hello. Lots of people do, so don't worry if you think like I'm just talking shit when I say that each week. Genuinely, people join every week and are jumping in and are joining our community and having fun and finding people to play games with online. So that's great. Last but not least, thank you to our patrons for supporting the work we do. You're all fantastic. I've been your host, Laurie. These two have been Ben and Alex, and we will see you again next time. Until then, though, it's goodbye.